Hey everyone, it's Brad here from Yu-Gi-Oh! Team Plus One, and I got a lot of requests to do my Gem Knight deck profile that I took to the locals. I went undefeated with them, which is quite surprising because Gem Knights aren't the best deck, as you may have heard or known just from playing the game. So, I'm going to just briefly go over why I played some things, but I'll definitely go into the effects of what everything does because, let's be honest, who knows what Gem Knights do? I don't even know what all the Gem Knights do. So, right away, we got 3 Gem Knight, or Gem Armadillo. That's important. He's not a Gem Knight, he's just Armadillo. Okay, so he is the searcher of the deck. He searches for a Gem Knight monster. Just monsters, unfortunately, so you can't add your spells to your hand. But next, we got 3 Gem Knight Garnet. So Garnet is going to be the normal monster that we're focusing on this deck, along with Lapis. But Garnet and Lapis are going to allow us to get to the best fusions, I believe. So that's why we're running them. Garnet's a beater, and 1900 attack, 0 defense. So I'm running Rescue Rabbit as well, just because I can bring him out, make a rank 4, and go on from there. And also I'll go into all the fusions later, so I'll just cover which ones you need to make them. We got triple Gem Knight Obsidian. So Obsidian is going to be one of the ones that make our wombo combo power plays go off. So when he is sent from the hand to the graveyard, so if you fusion with him pretty much, he is going to special summon a normal monster, level 4 or lower normal monster from our graveyard, excuse me. So he's going to keep bringing back Lapis or Garnet every time you fuse with him and Lapis or Garnet. So it's pretty much like using just one material and special summoning the other material from your hand to the field, which is kind of nice. So then we got triple Gem Knight Lapis, kind of similar to Obsidian, just not as good. So when it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, so it doesn't have to be from the hand, you're able to add a normal monster from your graveyard to your hand. So again, you're going to be able to keep on adding back Garnet and Lapis, and what this is going to allow you to do is just, with one Lapis and one Lapis or one Garnet and multiple of these, you're going to be able to make quite a few fusion monsters. And now I'm going to get into why this deck isn't the best. I played kind of a sacky build, and it just happened to work out all day. And I guarantee you it will not work out all day, every single time. I played triple Grand Soil Elemental Lord. So, you guys know there's 4 Elemental Lords. There's the Earth, Grand Soil, Fire is Pyrorex, Water is Mullen Glacia, and Wind is Windrose. Quite creative, I know. And they all have the effect of like a banned card, except for Pyrorex. His is now legal. Ring of Destruction is his effect. Pre-errata, I believe. But so you can special summon Grand Soil when you have 5 Earth monsters in your graveyard, and when you summon him, he's a monster reborn. So he can't be special summoned by other ways. So you can't go like Grand Soil, bring back Grand Soil, bring back Grand Soil, bring back something. No, you can't do that. But what I did do is I brought back a Sheehan with this one, so that was nice. Yeah, so next we got Gigantes. Gigantes is going to be something that helps us control our Earth, along with just like Gem Knight Fusion does as well. I'll get into that later. But I kind of put him in there because he's removal too. And there's actually some more I want to talk about with Grand Soil. I didn't just say, oh, this is an Earth deck, I'm throwing in Grand Soil. This deck actually does have a lot of control over what's in their graveyard. So I'll just show that right now. Gem Knight Fusion can add itself back to your hand by banishing a Gem Knight monster from your graveyard. So Gem Knights are all Earths. You're able to banish an Earth monster, add this back to your hand. So, and then also you can choose whether or not you want to use the effect of Lazuli or Obsidian to add back the Gem Knight monster from your graveyard to your hand if it would change you from 5 to 4 or something to say. So this deck actually does have a ton of graveyard control over whether or not they have 5 Earths in there. So I didn't just say, ooh, Earth, let's play Grand Soil. No. And then also it just has really good synergy with pulling out stupid fusion monsters. So next we got double Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. So the reason I opted to play this is with my build that I took, I wouldn't do this anymore now that I've played the deck at this tournament. I felt like I wanted to play the Gem Knight Fusion monster that needed a light monster. And I've decided I no longer want to run that guy So I would definitely drop this for Max C in the main deck. It's just better right now, I believe, but as I talked about in my Norden discussion video, this is going to be one of the cards that I use to stop my opponent's Norden and punish him. So, yeah, that's all that we got from monsters. I would definitely drop this for Max C after the fact, so I can go back and show you what I'd change. But let's see, we got triple Gemnite Fusion. This is going to be pretty much the card you need to make a spammy wombo combo field. So, as poorly as Gemnites do that, that's the best word to describe it. So, you can send monsters from your hand or your side of the field to the graveyard to special summon a Gemnite monster. So, then it also has that effect that can add itself from the graveyard to your hand, which I talked about earlier. So, you're going to be able to use it like 3-4 times in a turn really quickly and just spam the field really quite well, honestly, but not too well compared to the meta decks out there right now. We got Absorb Fusion. So, this is the card that makes me very sad. You need to play it, and you need to play it at 3, because it helps you get to Gemnite Fusion and other Gemnite monsters you need. But you can't special summon other monsters the turn you activate this card, so keep that in mind. But it lets you search for a Gemnite card, so it's like Gem Armadillo on steroids. You can search for Gemnite Fusion as well, not just Gemnite monsters, but it also has the ability where it can fusion summon after you perform the search. So you can fusion summon a Gemnite monster using monsters from your hand or your side of the field, but you have to banish them, which makes me really sad. I don't know why they had to do that. I mean, the deck isn't dumb. They should have just let him use it regularly and send it to the grave, but makes me really sad, because not only can this card be Solemn Warning now, but you're never going to want to use that, because you want your guys to get to the graveyard. So, makes me really, really sad. We got triple Brilliant Fusion. Now, this is the card that makes me happy and makes me want to play this deck. So, it's a continuous spell, and you send fusion materials from your deck no matter what. It's not like Shaddoll Fusion where they have an extra deck monster. No, it just says send fusion material monsters from your deck listed on a Gemnite Fusion, and then special summon that fusion with 0 attack. So it does come out at 0 attack and 0 defense, also 0 defense. But you can discard a spell, Gemnite Fusion, to make it go back to regular attack until the end of your opponent's turn. The reason I kind of hinted at this is blatantly hinted at the Gemnite Fusion is because you can just add it back to your hand after you use it, because you just sent 3 Gemnites from your deck to your graveyard, most likely, and I'll get into why 3. So you're going to be able to obviously add back Gemnite Fusion. But Brilliant Fusion is the card that definitely makes this deck worth playing. Without it, I probably wouldn't even bother with the deck. Then we got Triple Instant Fusion. This is just to bring out Norden. We can't, unfortunately, special summon any of the Gemnite monsters, even though they are level 5. A few of them are. They're unable to be special summoned except by... They have to first be special summoned with the proper fusion materials, unfortunately. So that's all the... almost all the fusion cards. We got one more fusion card in here, if I can find it. We got Dragon's Mirror. There we go. So Dragon's Mirror is kind of a card that I had to put in there because of Nekroz. The deck loses really hard to Nekroz, just because of Nekroz of Unicorn, honestly. And also Brionic's effect to shuffle our Gemnites into the Gemnite fusion monsters into the extra deck. That's really powerful against this deck, because this deck has no comeback ability. It puts everything it has on the field and just says, alright, your turn. Or it kills them that turn, which is also another fun part of the deck. But Dragon's Mirror is going to be something that's really good against decks that punish extra deck monsters, because that deck is pretty much just Nekroz. So it lets you banish fusion materials listed on a Dragon Fusion from your field or your graveyard. Summon that dragon. So the one we bring out is first of the dragons, which is needs 2 normal monsters. So we'll use Garnet and another Garnet or a Lapis. And this will allow us to be unaffected by other monster effects and unable to be destroyed by battle except by normal monsters. So pretty much unable to be destroyed by battle. There's like Trihorn Dragon and Blue Eyes White Dragon that can run over it, and that's it. Like, not even like Scrap Archfiend can crash with it. I mean, they're the same attack, but Scrap Archfiend is a non-effect monster, which is very important to know. And it's only able to be destroyed by battle with normal monsters. So, little nice thing to know. So, what this does is you just bring this out and you sit on it, and you win because your opponent doesn't play an out to it. Obviously, they play probably one or two. Necroz would play Regeki, maybe Book of Moon, and that would allow them to get over this. If they Book of Moon and then Diamond Dire Wolf, they could get over it, and obviously Regeki would just get rid of it right away, which is sad, but yeah. So that card is really good at stalling against Necroz, and that's the 13 fusion spells we are using, which makes this deck a little bit inconsistent, as you can imagine. But next, we got triple Unexpected Die. So this is going to be, if you have no monsters, you can special summon a normal monster from your deck, level 4 or lower normal monster. So this is going to be good at getting over monsters, because you can bring out a 1900 beater for free. And you can also use it to make rank 4, so really, really good. Also, if you need to get access to Lapis and you don't have access, you can just use that, bring out Lapis, and now you have access to it. And I'll go into why you might need to do that if you ever do. Just because some of the fusions require certain names, like Garnet or Lapis, and that's why we run those normal monsters. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't run normal monsters. Faustian Bargain. This is a card probably almost none of you know of. So, you can send a monster that was special summoned, and then you send a special summoned monster that was on either side of the field, so your side or your opponent's side, to the graveyard, and it has to go to the graveyard. Wait, actually? I stand corrected. It does not cost. You do not have to send it to the graveyard. And then special summon a normal monster, level 4 or lower normal monster from your hand. So this is going to be an out to Unicorn, because Unicorn shuts down this deck, unfortunately. Pretty much everything you can use to get over Unicorn is an extra deck monster that needs its effect to get over Unicorn. So it's quite an unfortunate combination of cards, but yes, we need this to get over Unicorn. As well as we have Regeki. This is pretty much in there just to get over Necroz of Unicorn as well. It's also just a really good card, so we got those two in there. And last but not least, we got two My Body as a Shield. And I by no way think this is a competitive card. I want you guys to realize that before you're like, oh, I should probably unsubscribe to this guy. No, this deck has no rebound. It just, like I said, it puts everything out there and says, go. But so it loses to cards like Darkhold, Regeki, Torrential, Mirror Force, stuff like that. And this is the answer to that. We have to play these so we don't get destroyed by cards that are at 3. Or, well, Torrential and Regeki are at 1. But, yeah. So we need these just so we can put everything out there and not have to worry about our monsters. I use this actually a lot against BA. I played 2 BA throughout the day. And use this on their Fire Lakes, which was really, really nice. So, I don't know what other deck you'd want to run this in. It's pretty much any deck that doesn't have the ability to float. Nothing in this deck can float. So that is a really big problem for the deck. And yeah, alright, so extra deck time. 2, Lady Brilliant Diamond. So this is going to be one of the newer support cards, just like Absorb and Brilliant Fusion were. But this is what you want to bring out off of Brilliant Fusion. So it's 3 Gem Knight monsters, and then it has this effect. Once per turn, you can send one face-up Gem Knight monster you control to the graveyard. If you do, special summon a Gem Knight Fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So this is the one way you can special Gem Knight Fusion monster from your extra deck, except by Fusion summoning. And maybe Metamorphosis, but that's banned. You won't have to worry about that. So, this guy is going to be brought out off of Brilliant Fusion, and you'll usually get to add 2 normal monsters pretty much from your deck to your hand, to be honest, by using Brilliant Fusion, because you can send Lazuli. You can send Lazuli, which adds them from your graveyard to your hand. But, yeah, you get to go really plus off of just activating Brilliant Fusion and sending 3. And you thin your deck of normal monsters so you don't have to see them. And then you can go ahead and just tribute this Lady Brilliant Diamond, special summon a Gem Knight Fusion monster at full attack, and that has its effect now. So it's really, really strong in the deck. Alright. Another one of the newer ones, didn't come out of this set, but it's relatively new. We got Gem Knight Lady Lapis Lazuli. So combination of Lapis and Lazuli, and it's the problem that makes me like mix up Lapis and Lazuli every single time I try to think of them. So just because I combine them. So this needs Gem Knight Lapis, and which is the normal monster, and another Gem Knight monster. And it can't be special summoned by except with the above fusion material monsters, except for by Lady Brilliant Diamond. And then you can send a Gem Knight monster from your deck or your extra deck, and then inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each special summon monster on either side of the field. So in a single game, I burned for 6,500 this past weekend. I did it. I used her effect twice. Sent one, did 3,500. Sent another one the next turn, did 3,000, and burned for game. And this is why this is at 2 in the extra deck. So really, really powerful effect. And a lot of the Gem Knights like being sent to the graveyard. So it's a win-win situation. Then we got the two that need Garnet. So this is why we run Garnet in the deck. So Citrine, it's like the original Armades, the OG Armades in this deck. So if it attacks or is attacked, it is unaffected, or your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So it's going to be like the true Armades. Armades copied it. But Gem Knight Ruby is, it needs a Garnet, specifically him, and then another Gem Knight monster, and it has Piercing, and has the ability to tribute a Gem Knight, gain attack equal to its attack on the field, and then it gains that attack until the end of the turn. So you could just boost this guy up to 5,900 attack, and attack something like with 1,000 defense, and just do tons of damage. Yeah. Next guy we got, this is why I was running Ghost Ogre instead of Maxi, but I would definitely change that. And I'll show you what we would bump up in the extra deck later. So this girl is just a Gem Knight and a light monster, so that's why I was running Ghost Ogre. And then it gives you the condition that each turn you get an additional normal summon or set. So sometimes useful, but I never used it, honestly. And I had one Zirconia. This is definitely the card I'd bump up to 2. It's a 2,900 attack monster, non-effect fusion monster, level 8. So also 2,500 defense, really big. But yeah, I'd bump Zirconia up to 2 and drop Seraphonite. And then I'd change the main deck by putting Ghost Ogres on the side and putting 2 Maxis into the main deck. Got first the Dragons. I kind of already talked about this guy. Got 2 Elder Entity Norden because we have 3 Instant Fusion in the deck. And I didn't run 3 because if I've seen 2 Instant Fusion and I haven't won, probably not going to win. Or I don't think there's a situation where I'd ever need 3, is what I'm trying to get at. Dweller, Exciton, Diamond Dyer, Cassell, staple rank 4s, that's all. Side deck, we got the 5 Cs that are becoming staples in almost every deck now. We got double Maxi and triple Italian C. I'm definitely thinking about bumping Maxi up to 3 in some decks now, just because of Norden, and it's really good right now. Triple MST, double Typhoon, I don't like back row. Double Decree, I don't like back row. And triple Mistake, I don't like Necroz. Well, I love Necroz, the deck, but I don't like playing against them with Gem Knights. Just, it's very, very unfair. They're just not on the same level at all. But that is the entire deck. I don't have much else to talk about. The deck is definitely not a high tier deck. It's probably tier 3, right around the level of like Yosenju or something of that nature. But that's about all I have for today. Make sure you guys tell me what you guys want to see, because I want to know what you guys want to see, because I don't want to make a video that no one wants to watch. So I need to hear feedback from you guys every single day that I post a video, because if I post a video and I don't hear a comment, it's like I'm just talking to myself for the past 20 minutes for no reason. So tell me what you guys want to see. Please leave comments and just say, hey, can you do this type of video? I want to see something on this archetype. And I know some of you guys have talked about you want to see Cleese, you want to see Yang Zheng. I know a teammate of ours did really well with Yang Zheng in ARG format, so he might be able to talk a little bit about it. He might only want to talk about it in ARG format. I don't know. I don't know how it would relate to Konami format. I haven't really played with ARG format at all. And Joe is making videos as we speak about Clifford's, so you guys will see those really soon, I hope, and I'm really looking forward to what he produces. So that's about all I have for today. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.